Today I am sharing with you the 6 things that changed my life for the better. The first one is food. I grew up having a Mediterranean diet. I used to eat a lot of animal products. Then in my early 20s, I stopped eating sugar and processed foods, chemical foods. Then later I started avoiding all kind of animal products. At that time I found out how much I was in love with cooking, and so I did a macrobiotic culinary course and I started cooking and cooking and cooking. I was working as a psychologist and I changed career completely. Later I opened my first restaurant and then my second one in different times and places. This was a big change. But anyway, the food, I feel that evolved in my life. I started eating more and more whole foods. And then recently I started incorporating more and more fresh raw foods. Now I grow my own food sometimes. I also receive a lot of vegetables and fruits from other people who grow their own vegetables and fruits. I also started eating more and more organic, which was not part of my diet while I was growing up. The food became a very important part of my life, not only because it's the food that feeds me, but also because it has to do with also my professional activity. I realize, looking back, that it is about knowing myself and feel what resonates the most with me and allow also myself to evolve in that way. And looking back, I see clearly how food evolved in my life, how my food choices evolved in my life, and they are still evolving. So food is one of the things that has been changing, and it's for the better because of the way I feel. Now, the second thing that changed my life for the better is doing more and more the things that I love. I used to believe that I had to do things that I didn't like, sometimes at least. And the things that I liked the most, they were separated from my professional activity, that I had some obligations and that I had to feel the obligation of doing things. And then I could do the things I loved the most when holidays arrived. I had jobs that I didn't like. I thought that I had to have things that I didn't like in my life, but that is not true. And the more I got to know myself, I realized that I can do the things I love the most, and I can do that often, so often that I can do that almost all the time. And I also realize that the more I do the things I love, the more I do the things that I don't like that much with less pressure and obligation. So for example, if I pay a bill, I can actually transform that negative energy around that concept. So doing the things I love the most means that I don't separate the activity that I have as a professional from the hobbies or the free time that I can have, because I see myself as having this time and I spend this time being myself. And the more I am myself, of course, the more I will express the things that I love the most, that resonate with me. Some of those things give me money as a result. Some of those things don't give me money as a result. In any case, it's just me expressing myself. So that really changed my life for the better, for sure. The number 3 is nature. Now, I really have to thank my dog for this one, because before I had my dog in my life, he's now 8 years old, I would, of course, I would go to nature, I would go to the beach and I would go to the parks, but not even close to what came after that. Because my dog is so demanding in that aspect, he really taught me to be closer to nature and appreciate more and more being close to nature. He made me see and feel that I am nature and that I need that. I need to be close to me. I think about him when I decide where I'm going to live, but I then realize that I'm also thinking about myself and that actually I need the same in that aspect, which is very interesting. So being close to nature, definitely a great thing for me. Now, number 4, it's yoga. I found out how much I liked yoga on my early 20s, but at that time I only had one class per week. It was like this until I take this Kundalini yoga course, which really changed my life. Because of that, I started incorporating yoga every day as a ritual, and this yoga is so complete. It has pranayamas, asanas, relaxation, mantras, meditation. It's a very powerful type of yoga. All that together really made the difference, and I can't even see myself living in this world without my yoga practice, because I realize how much it helps me deal with life in a general way. Now, the number 5 is taking care of myself. Now, this is something that I always did, of course, in one way or another, but I noticed that with time I started incorporating more and more natural products, for example, like natural soap, shampoo, and things like that. And also I started brushing my skin, having cold showers. I started to listen more my body when it needs to rest or when it needs to have fun or other things like the type of fabric that I use on my clothes. I consider that taking care of myself is also feeding myself with good energies of things that makes me happy. So, for example, to surprise people or to surprise myself, even offering myself something, it really makes me happy. So it's a way of taking care of myself. Number 6 is surrounding myself with good energies. This can be tricky. Now I realize how many toxic relationships I had in my life. And because of that, I wanted so much to avoid that and to clean my life in that aspect. But then I realized that that could be a little bit challenging for me, because actually, if I thought about it, I had to avoid many people, including in my family, friends, and so on. So then I realized that the best way to have good energies in my life from others is by maintaining my high vibration. And I can do this by doing the 5 things I already described here. And by doing those things, especially meditating, I can maintain my high vibration and then go to the world and attract the best in others. Even if I face someone who I consider toxic, I am able to attract the best in that person. And if that person is capable of showing the best of them to me, then it will happen. If that person is not capable of showing their best to me in that moment, if I keep my high vibration, probably that person won't even show up in my life at that moment, at least. This doesn't mean that I'm not selective on what I do and what I choose to do and to be surrounded of. This means that I'm controlling myself instead of controlling others, and then I can attract good energies, or at least more positive energies. And these are the 6 things that really changed my life for the better, and they keep changing my life every day.